was trying to, with that exhibition, speak of personal darknesses as well as global darknesses, but also the relationship between the personal and the global. For instance, getting back to the Norwegian black metal scene, I find it interesting that in a country that is where 80 to 85% of its citizens claim to be Christians, that Norway's number one import product is Norwegian black metal. And through the wonders of technology, communications, the media, the record and entertainment industry, the Norwegian black metal is an international, global, multi-million-dollar industry. So even though these black metal dudes have some very personal and cultural reasons for expressing themselves the way they do, it turns out that the wonders of technology and globalism enable them to connect with hundreds of thousands of people worldwide. And so we can see how technology in this case can allow the spread of darkness and hatred. And how things that, these days, more than ever before, the last 50, 60 years, the current generation that we live in, how quickly and immediately things on the other side of the world affect us, such as the situation in the Middle East, or let's say, sort of an ambush of a Canadian soldier in Afghanistan. I mean, we in Canada, our whole country finds out about this like minutes after it happened. So in an ever shrinking world, and shrinking they say through technology, telecommunications, the airline industry, and even the spread of military advance and spread of military technologies, all this stuff does affect us. So we cannot think anymore that here in North America, 5 or 6% of the world's population, that what we're doing here on the other side of the world, such as, participating in the subjugation of the Muslim population, can not somehow immediately reverberate back and affect us in the world we live in today. Is that what 9/11 was? I don't know. But we are not personally anymore so separate from global darknesses, global light. You look around the world today and you think of again a lot of the through the technology, military and economic oppression that takes place throughout the rest of the world. It's about ensuring that 5 or 6% of the world's population has access to cheap oil, and we're all implicated at this point. And darkness ascends. In a sense, depicting individual artists' point of view, I very intentionally attempted to link the personal to the global, the local to the global, if you will, to the international. So the personal and the political are ever more closely aligned. And that leads to our mandate, again, the mandate of Museum of Contemporary Canadian Art. We are very specifically present exhibitions here of artists' work that deal with or are pertinent to the contemporary human condition. So our gallery is not specializing in what we might call academic conceptualism, nor do I see our role as necessarily sharing with the public the latest sort of obscure and humatic academic artistic discourse. Although, with that said, most of the shows have those issues embedded in them. I don't know. It's almost like, I was referring to earlier, the technology and the world we live in today. Everything moves so fast in this information age. Not only is there more and more information available, but what that quantity of availability means is it's a lot easier to hide information. Ironically, I think we live in an age of, not necessarily, an age of concealment. In fact, what I see about this sort of information age and the quantity of information is more, it's a lot easier to conceal things now, as much as it is to reveal them. And there's many layers and ways for things to be obscured. I was referring to earlier the human consciousness, and mine included, cannot possibly process 20 art exhibitions in a day. It's in any meaningful way. I know myself, like running around the planet going, taking in the art scene. You go to New York, you spend 3 or 4 days in New York, which I do on a regular basis, easily, seeing 100 art exhibitions, like without exaggeration, and how many artists' works in creation. Perhaps an artist has spent 2 years working on a piece, and it turns out to be one of 1,000 artworks I saw in New York over the course of 4 days.